you all to defensive end Will Heldt. If y'all would not mind introducing your name and affiliation prior to asking the question so Will can get to know you, we'd appreciate it. Fire away whenever you're ready.
Grayson Man with TigerNet.com. Just within your recruitment process, obviously Clemson hadn't filled that position yet at DC at the time. So what drew you to this campus? What ultimately led to you pulling the trigger on saying this is going to be my new home?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it was just knowing that I wanted to win, and I knew the guys that were coming back into this locker room, and the guys that they were returning, and I knew that the guys on the defensive line, we were going to be coming with a solid unit. So I think that was a big piece for me, and then just culturally, I think it was a great fit. Everything's just so cohesive here, and I think I plug right in.
John Blount, post-career. Tom Allen recruited you, I guess, when you were out of Carmel. What do you remember from being recruited by him?
Yeah, so they were one of the first people that recruited me, actually, when he was at IU, back when I finished up my sophomore year in Carmel. But yeah, nothing but good memories with him. Obviously, I ended up going to the rival, Purdue, but I do have the 1-0 record against him when I played him when he was a head coach at IU. But yeah, good memories. He's a great guy, and I'm excited that he's here.
I guess did you get any ribbing from him when you actually met him?
Maybe a couple jabs here and there, but yeah, all good things.
The Darian Carter Greenwood news coming from Purdue, has there been I guess comparing Clemson, your predecessor with Clemson to Purdue, there been any similarities or differences between the intensity, the focus from your perspective?
Yeah, I think just generally a lot of similarities just in terms of structurally, but I think the biggest difference is probably just the pace of practice. I think things here are just a little more intense and a little more ramped up, just going from drill to drill, from play to play. I think there's just more emphasis on just moving quickly and moving with a sense of urgency.
Barry Williams, TigerIllustrated.com. I guess you won 5 games the previous 2 years. How much do you think your hunger can bring and add to a program that has, obviously not where it wants to be, but is used to winning a lot of games?
Yeah, I think no one's hungrier for a win than I am. Like you said, 5 games in the last 2 years, 1 game last year. I'm salivating to get those victories, and that to me is what it's all about. That's why I'm here. I want to win games, and I want to be a part of a team to compete for a national championship.
People have said your motor, I guess, is what stands out. Is that the way you see it too? Just sort of your drive and your motor never seems to really turn off? Yeah,
I mean, no doubt. I think I pride myself on that. Pride myself on being a guy that's hustling to the ball, that's working just to, end up, we like to say, get on the frame at the end of the play. Just whatever you can do to get your face around the ball and, just make plays wherever you can.
Just going all the way back, why was Clemson the place that you actually ended up wanting to go to? I went to LSU, a couple of places. Why did Clemson come out?
Yeah. I think between, like I said, wanting to win, being a great cultural fit, and then from there just the coaching staff fits, Coach Rump, Coach Eason, Coach Swinney, and then now Coach Allen. It's been great just being around coaches, not only with Rump and Eason that have been in the NFL, that have coached great players, and I know that they can develop me to where I want to be.
How would you describe Tom Allen's energy during a practice?
Unmatched. You can hear him. If you're out of practice, you can hear him. Nobody's louder than him, and nobody's holding guys more accountable than he is, and I love it.
Sort of the early days of spring practice, just sort of getting with this group, installing Tom Allen's feet, even just the first couple of practices here. Just what maybe is the stark differences between playing here and Purdue?
Yeah, I would say really there's a bigger focus on just playing free and making plays, honestly, and just letting it loose. Just 100% effort, and the biggest thing has just been the accountability. Nothing's getting slipped through the cracks, and they're hitting all their eyes and dotting. Nothing's just slipping by, and everything's being watched, everything's being checked twice, and I really appreciate that. Just really emphasis on intensity.
You mentioned being, I guess, a cultural fit when you chose to come to Clemson. I guess how you kind of fit in with the Clemson football team so far.
Yeah. I think when I first got here, I think it's a little bit difficult to integrate yourself, obviously, at the start. But at a place like this, everybody's so welcoming. And I was sitting back here when Tristan was talking about it, like he was saying, just you don't go into the facility without somebody saying what's up to you or somebody checking in on you or seeing how you're doing. And, the guys in my room, in the defensive line room, and throughout the whole team have just been really welcoming, and I think it's been a great fit.
Who would you say you've bonded with the most?
I would say between the guys in the edge room, me, TJ, Cade, Jaheim, but then from there, me, Cade Klubnik, Ronan, Hannafin, we've all been hanging out a lot and going to church together, and it's been a good fit with those guys.
What is TJ like as a teammate?
He's great. I mean, he's just a high-energy guy, a guy that people like to be around. He's always cracking jokes and always lighthearted, but he knows how to lock in.
I guess it's not often you're around a talent like Peter. Can you describe maybe what you've seen of him so far just in person?
Yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable player, obviously, but his work ethic is top-notch as well. And I think just guys look up to him and guys, thrive off that energy that he brings. And obviously, it's not a bad thing to have a guy like that on the inside.
Going up against some of the opposing offensive linemen, tackles, I guess, going up against Blake. So, for example, what you kind of see from them, from your perspective, going up against, has been a tougher challenge you anticipate, or if you kind of, met the moment since going up against those caliber?
Yeah, I mean, Blake's obviously a great player. I've faced a lot of great players just playing at Purdue. We played a pretty good schedule. But Blake's an amazing player, and he's a great talent, and it's been great to battle against him, and I'm excited to continue to do that. And then when guys like Tristan Lee and those guys get back to practice, I'm excited to go against them and just, iron sharpens iron and just continue to get better.
When you talk about them developing you for, setting guys onto the next level, like what are the things that you feel like are already your strengths? What are the things that you really hone in on and say, I can get better at this and kind of unlock my potential?
Yeah, I think just continuing to know how to use my abilities that I have, just continue to use my length and, use that to my advantage, use my speed to threaten offensive tackles and then play off of there and use all the moves that we're being taught and just, be a dynamic player all the way around.
Had a growth spurt late in high school, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How much have you really feel like grasped your length in terms of how you can use it?
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely grown into my frame the past 2 years, put on a little bit of weight, and I think that's helped a lot. So I feel like I'm really just now tapping into my full potential, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
I guess I don't feel like you use the stim move a bunch of times. Is that one of your favorites?
Yeah. I like to get into the bag a little bit. Use what I got, but yeah, I like to spin a little bit, like to mix it up, and keep them on their toes.
Is simplification the sort of the theme of spring so far for the defense with Coach Allen, just trying to get people confident in what they're doing?
Yeah, I think in terms of what Coach Allen brought in, I think that is an accurate way to describe it. It's simple, but it's fast and it's violent. No need to overcomplicate things. Just play fast, know where you're going, and get there with a sense of urgency.
It was Larry that wrote about it, but so your uncle knows Coach Brownell? How much did you know Coach Brownell or interact with him before you came here? Obviously, on this.
Yeah, I don't really know him. I met him when I came here, but it's really my dad and my uncle that know him. He grew up with my uncle, so my dad kind of looked up to him, as an athlete in the area growing up. But I met him. He's a great guy. So excited to get to more of their games, and good that they're doing well over there in the basketball arena. Yeah, I've been to a couple. I went to the UNC game when they beat down on them, so that was fun. But yeah, excited to see them compete in the tourney.
Do you get a sense of just how much the returning guys want to turn things around and defending the run? It was pretty bad at times last year. Do you get that sense of just wanting to flip that script, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some urgency there. Just early in the semester, getting in those player-led team meetings, and when that standard is just set of, we got a more veteran team, a veteran locker room, more experienced guys that have, had a taste at the playoff, and that's not enough for them and for this team, and that's not where we want to get to ultimately, and we know where our eyes are set, to chase and win a championship, but at the end of the day, we're taking it one day at a time and get better every day to chase that goal.
Anything else for Will?
Jeremiah Alexander, we've heard a lot about his work ethic. in terms of just being a guy that comes from the States. Like, so what have you seen, I guess, in terms of that, what he adds to the defense?
Yeah, I mean, he's a grinder through and through, no doubt. I mean, I'm always seeing him in the building. He's always getting extra work in. I'm always seeing him walking around with his iPad and, always constantly trying to get better, heal his body up. And, he's a great player, a great talent, and I'm excited to see, where he gets us this season.
Do you remember the first communication you received from Clemson?
I do. So I was still at Purdue when I had first entered the portal. I was still up in West Lafayette, and Coach Rumpf had called me, and I saw Clemson on my phone. I was like, oh, Clemson! I didn't expect it. But I called him, talked to him for a while, and then next thing I know, an hour later, I'm getting a FaceTime call from a random number. I open it, and Dabo Swinney's sitting there. I'm like, oh, shoot! Like I did not expect that. He didn't even text before; he just called. I was like, oh, wow. But yeah, a little starstruck seeing him, but real down to earth guy, and he's awesome. But yeah, it was good, and I was excited to hear from them, obviously.
I guess. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I remember talking to Joe Deneen. He said you weren't even really quite sure what you would get at if you went to the portal.
Yeah.
Was it surprising to you when Clemson teams of that caliber were reaching out? Like, how much do you have an understanding of what you guys probably can?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you only know so much when you put your name in the portal. I mean, you think you have a gauge for, where the interest will be at. But, at the end of the day, you never know until it's official. And, it was a little bit surprising and, it was exciting, the teams that were reaching out. But, found my place and I'm happy where I'm at.
Is there anything that Dabo said that really sold you on Clemson?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it was just selling the idea of, at the end of the day, we play football, but we're also here to develop ourselves as young men and as leaders and to develop ourselves into, the next level of our lives. And whether that's playing football or, at the professional level or whatever it is, first and foremost, man of God. Secondly, friend, family. And then third, I just play football. But I love playing football, and that's for sure.
Anything else for Will?
Just asked you about Coach Allen, but Coach Rom, sometimes here in practice, he's getting on you guys for not being hard enough or physical enough. But what is it like being coached by him day to day? Like, how hard is it on you guys in terms of giving that?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely very vocal, and he likes to get loud at practice. But at the end of the day, with a guy like that and a coach like that, where it's coming from. It's coming from a place of love and a place of knowing that he wants you to grow and he wants nothing but the best for you. And so at the end of the day, if you want to be great, you're going to take that coaching and you're going to apply it.
Anything else? All right, well, thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.